down here sits in lane number 2, the world and European champions from Germany. In this, the final of the men's lightweight fours. Italy in lane 1, they were 4th in Europe. And although they're in an outside lane, they're very experienced, so that doesn't mean by any means that they're not going to be involved in the medal fight. Here are the Germans, the European and world champions, Martin and Jochen Kuhner in the stroke and 3 seats, and then Jos Scherman-Fink and Bastian Seipt, the man in the bow for Germany. Next to them, it's a new crew for China. Li Zhongwei in the stroke seat, Huang, Yu and Li are the other 3 members. They were in Lucerne. When they finished 7th, they won the B final. Great Britain, well, they're the World Cup champions for the season. Chris Bartley at stroke, Rob Williams, Paul Matic and Richard Chambers. This was the category that Britain were successful in 2007. And then the Netherlands, another set of twins here.
Italy,
Tycho Muda, Vincent Muda in stroke
Germany,
and 3 seat respectively for
China,
the Dutch. And
Great
completing
Britain,
the lineup, Australia,
the
well,
Netherlands,
Anthony Edwards, 37
Australia,
years young, 3 Olympic medals to his credit. He's in the bow on the right of your picture.
This is going to be an absolutely fantastic race. Both semi-finals, nail-biting affairs, and good clean start. That's a relief. Chinese perhaps a little bit slow off, but we expect to see them right in there at the death.
And once again, lightweight, so all these men had to weigh in, and the crew on average must not weigh more than 70 kilos. As you see the Dutch there with Tycho Muda on the left there, one of the 2 Muda twins.
Coached by John Faulkner, an Englishman. I used to call him Stan, that's the name, everybody knew him, but he was working in Denmark, has gone to Holland, done a fantastic job with this 4. But, well, the Australians, they do like to start quickly.
But the British, an equally good start there by Chris Bartley. This is a Rob Morgan coach crew there, and Britain strong pace in the first 250 metres. Then stretching away, you've got China, Germany, and on the far side, Italy. But here are the British.
Yeah, I was talking to Rob Morgan yesterday, and he was absolutely feeling that his crew were coming on song at the right time. They're up at about 39 strokes a minute 40, but it doesn't look like that. Chris Bartley looking across there very smooth, and behind him in the 3 seat, that's Rob Williams, and he's one of the fastest single scullers. Did the double last year with Paul Matic rowing behind him, and they've really come good. And Pete Chambers in the bow seat out of that world champion 4, which he rode in with Paul Matic. So these men really making the boat sing in the first 500 metres.
Coming towards the end of the first quarter, furthest away, it's Italy. Then you've got Germany. They're sort of tabbing each other there. And then you've got Great Britain right up there also with Australia. And you might notice on the British vest there, as Martin referred to yesterday, they're just carrying that black ribbon in memory of one of Britain's absolute greats, Andy Holmes.
Yeah, very, very sad news that Andy, double Olympic gold medalist and a former crewmate of mine, passed away last Sunday morning, and a fantastic gesture from the British team. Australians, well, they have been fast starters all the way here, and they tend to drop back in the 3rd quarter. But, you know, at the moment, you've really got to go out quick in this race. It's so competitive.
And this is the state of play with 1,250 metres to go. That good start by Australia still to their advantage. Britain right up there. But this is a fantastic race. Absolutely everybody in this, Martin.
Yeah, just 2 seconds separating everyone at 500 metres. I do like the rhythm of the British crew, but it's such a competitive race. We can see the blades of the Dutch crew alongside the British down at 34.5. And of course the Chinese, now there's the bow of number 2, David, and that's the German European champions who had a fantastic championships in Portugal. You were there, and at the moment it's the Germans who have been the brave ones and gone out in front. Of course they're the world champions, or 3 of them from last year.
They are indeed, and they had that tune-up race in Portugal, which has seen them in good stead. I mean, Bastian Seipt, who has been involved in the crew, he was in the Olympics, has come back into that lightweight 4, and it's Australia and Germany, as you can see, then Britain, and then the Italians in lane 1, still there or thereabouts, and still could be really dangerous. Martino Goretti in the stroke seat for them, with Caianello and then Danisin and Vilcek in the bow.
I have to say, you know, I think there's the Italian crew, and they're rating up there quite highly, 38, not making much of an impact. I would really expect to see this 3rd quarter down to the British, and if they want to confirm their status as favourites, then they've got to have their bows in in front with the 500 metres to go. This is where they're strong and they have to make a move. A fantastic row by the Australians at the moment.
Yeah.
Chris Bartley looking across at the Germans, seeing if he's moving. This is where Paul Matic's going to be calling. Richard Chambers in the bow seat looking across. They're not making much of an impact on the Germans. They are coming back a little bit, but heading the Australians now.
Yeah, the Germans who certainly made a move there. The British, the bow pair that you can see on the right there, those are the two men who tasted success in 2007 in the Munich Championships. What a turnaround for Germany. 37 strokes a minute for the British there. The Germans who, well, when they hosted the championships in 2007, do you remember that? What a disappointing championships for them. Just one gold medal.
It will be. Both crews head-to-head, and I think the British have had a very good move there, but the Germans have done well to hang on to that position. They finished their semi-final in 6:22, just a fraction slower than the British. The British beat them in the semi-final, and the question is, the British bows are heading, so that could be Britain has done the job, and they may well win this race, but 3 crews in a line there.
Yeah, and also there's the race for the bronze medal, because China getting very much into this now. You can just see their boat there just coming into this fight, certainly for the bronze medal. Italy on the far side. There's Australia in the foreground, and that's the bow of the Dutch, who traditionally seem to always leave it very late and give themselves a little bit too much to do. Britain and Germany shoulder to shoulder, stroke for stroke now, and then the Chinese coming up to vie with Australia for the bronze medal. Italy just seemingly caught and not able to respond.
It's a fantastic race, a brilliant race, just what we expected in this event, and I think very classy rowing from all the crews there. It's a minute advantage to take in with 250 metres to go, and they're hurting now. And Richard Chambers has looked across, the man from Coleraine, he's called it up, but the Germans too are responding, and Seb Side in the bow of the German boat, he's called too, neck and neck, David.
Absolutely, and here come the Chinese on the sprint as well. The meet between the two crews that are leading the race. But it is the bow of Great Britain slightly, fractionally ahead of the bow of Germany, who are on the far side. 43 strokes a minute for Great Britain. Australia trying to hold themselves in there. Look at the Chinese coming. The Chinese are on a massive sprint now between Germany, between Great Britain. Coming to the line here. The Chinese are going to get there, are they? It's just on the side.
I think the British, but you know, could it have been the surge? That was an unbelievable sprint. I have no idea who won the other medals in that. And the German women, they think, nobody knows. Nobody knows. They're looking at, there's a camera there, they're looking at the replay. Yes, they know. That's it. Matic's, Richard Chambers, dance, doing the dance. Where's he got that energy from?
I don't know, it's incredible. Well, what a race from the Chinese as well.
What's that, 700ths of a second? The Australians they're giving the silver medal to on our unofficial times here.
Well, I'd like to see that again. It was very, very close, but...
And the Chinese are 1/100th of a second on our times behind the Australians. And the Germans rown out of it. What a disappointment for the Germans. But Paul Matic, world champion once more. Chris Bartley, I can't hear you. I'm number 1 in the Olympic class event. And the Australians are thrilled with it. And God, look at that. Sam Belts, Anthony Edwards up there. There he goes. The men from Tasmania.
Unofficially, it's Great Britain in gold, and then Australia in silver, China in bronze, and Germany out of the medals. But have a look at this. One fantastic race.
I mean, these British, you have to hand it to them. So cool. They made their move in the third quarter where they had to. Rob Williams there anchoring the boat in the 3-seat, just behind the stroke man nearest to us, Chris Bodie.
But I tell you what, the Chinese, boy, have they given
how far
everyone
they are down.
Yeah, I know.
Look at that.
Amazing. Well, but they have this low rating which allows them to come with a huge burst at the end. And if you remember, they were so effective also in Eton. Now have a look at this. Australia closest to you, and then you can see the British vying with the Chinese. The Germans have just lost out, and that is the British, but it's by a whisker. We'll get confirmation of the split times later. Here's the reverse angle. So Germany are closest to you. Then you can see the Chinese coming onto the British. Australia furthest away by that much. Oof, how close is that between Australia and China?
Well, they're calling it 100th of a second.
Unbelievable race. And that's without the Danes who normally appear in this race. So confirmation 6:10.71, and there 700ths between Great Britain and Australia, and as Martin said, 100 separating silver and bronze. And Germany, well, they probably can't believe it, the world champions, that they're